It's thought to have largely fizzled out, but one Nigerian town seems to be keeping the age-long African tradition of nighttime storytelling alive, with a regular gathering of children under the moonlight. In tonight's special report, TVC's Cyril Abako goes to his hometown of Okirika to see the moon, a storyteller and a gathering of children.
Little children sing with excitement to press home the moral lesson being taught through tales told under the light of the moon here at Obapolo Elebo, Okirika town.
Is called what?
With a kerosene lamp waving its flames in the center to provide some light for this cultural spectacle now almost extinct in many African villages. The real fire seems to be burning in the voice of the storyteller himself.
I passed through this system and I noticed that as a young man, as a growing up child, I undergo this process where at every eve of every night, we run around our elders. Sometimes we go to knock doors and call them up to come and tell us stories. And we even disturb them whether today they will not tell us stories. And each time our parents look for us when it comes to the eve of the night. They used to go to story grounds because that is where they find their child when it is night. But our present day society, I begin to notice that because of the ills of society, to the third majority of us, our parents no longer go to anywhere to trace for their children. And our communities have turned something else. So we think about the younger generation. The only way we can be able to bring them as our children is to now inculcate the beauties of our past, what keep us, and what is making us to have this good remembrance and to also be good scholars.
Soon I got overwhelmed and took a seat center stage to relive my childhood memories.
Well, the last time I had the opportunity of sitting down like this to listen to stories at night was many years ago. But at this moment, I'm having a first-hand experience of an African night's entertainment, and I must tell you, the experience is worth it.
Interestingly, the children not only listen, they also answer questions when asked. But it's all in Okirika, the native dialect. The storyteller leads the evening, but there are also the aged who made tonight's gathering, keenly following and also participating.
This learning process has been in existence right from the days of our forebears. I grew up in a fishing settlement where my father loved to tell us stories at night. We got really excited and even asked follow-up questions when we got home. It was such an interesting time that such stories often led to dreams as well. Storytelling has been here for long, although it is on the decline these days. But seeing today's gathering is a real spectacle for me. Reliving those moments bring relief to me. I also remember we did riddles and jokes in those days. A revival of the Okirika spirit is a great joy for me. A lot is being learned. Stories teach children to be obedient to their parents. They also teach contentment. Children equally learn that disobedience could result in death and destruction. This is just a picture of how stories impact children. Parents owe it to their children to guide them aright, but it is often best when both parents and children relate lovingly and happily.
Parents have no challenge releasing their little ones to share in a tradition they say has lingered on for generations, but has died off in many places.
Seeing the gathering today gives me joy. That is why I released my children. It's an opportunity for them to learn and differentiate good from evil. We grew up speaking the native dialect, but today children will ask you, "Mommy, what are you talking about?" That is why I sent them to come to learn. My son Desmond is learning so much from this participation. He is able to understand the local dialect.
The children told me what thrills them about nighttime storytelling as they sit in a circle on the ground in the open square.
To come and collect experience from our elders. From the first story that I told us, I've learned that it's not good to steal. Then the story about the donkey, I learned that it's not good to leave your donkey to be walking around. Instead, you tie him up somewhere so that you can finish your farm works and carry him home back.
I also wanted to know what might have motivated the preservation of this oral art.
It holds about telling the children what is good and what is bad about the society in a way they can understand and learn good about the society, so that social vices will not be influencing them as children. They grow up from that point.
Storytelling and like folktales are, in a way, remembrance of past events that make children to shaping their life in society. Particularly a community like Okirika, where some of the social varieties are completely taking over. So we try various means to make sure that we bring them back to society. Why they will not move into some of these society hazards and many more of various cultism and everything in their higher institutions and the schools they are in county. So the only way we can do is to tell them stories and the implications of what these events will lead the children to. Some of these stories, we heard it from our parents. How the young kite could not be able to fly until the parents had to leave him with annoyance for him to have independence and freedom. So some of these children we born, there's a period you leave the child to have his own freedom. Like the Nigerian Constitution make it 18 years old. At 18 years old, the child have independence. And that is exactly the story of the kites. So now, we'll be able to now let the children to know, for you to be courageous when they come to a particular age, to have independence, freedom for the child.
Nighttime storytelling may no longer be the in thing in a fast-changing African world. But here at Obapolo in Okirika, the half moon is a welcome guest. Children sit with rapt attention to learn about folk tales and folklore and the values that conduce to a just and moral society. It could well be the only one of its kind. Cyril, TVC News, Okirika.
And that's all at this hour, but the storytelling continues. For more details, you can visit our website at tvcnews.tv and also join the conversation on our social media platforms using the handle at tvcnewsNJ. Thanks for watching. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Good night.